actually studied football coaching, and then the final year of football coaching went into a little bit of analysis and kind of found a real kind of love for it. So investigated a little bit and then went on to my masters, did my master's degree at Chichester. Whilst I was there, I did a placement at Brighton. I was really lucky that I ended up getting a full-time job off the back of it. So I worked from 16s and then progressed up to the 18s. But my time at Brighton, I was there about 4 years and worked across every single age group from first team to under 9s. So yeah, it was quite special. And then opportunity came up at Watford. I've been here a year now and loving it. Leading the analysis provision here in the academy has been fantastic, to be honest. The opportunities here, kind of delivering different types of processes which we've been able to build ourselves. So yeah, that's kind of how I've got here. So we wanted to introduce kind of an analysis programme from 9s to 21s. So what we want to do is have a structure that's really consistent across the age groups. So what we're seeing and producing at under 9s is also what we're seeing at under 21s. Obviously the detail level is slightly different, but all the outputs that we provide are all consistent. So that's a big part of what we do. We obviously come out, we film training, especially on days like today's. Beautiful to come out and film training sessions, analyse them with the coaches, sit down and go through our tactical bits. And then a lot of it is prepping, so especially for the older age groups and kind of my remit with the professional development phase, we're looking at pre-match, looking at opposition analysis. Is a big part of what we do, is breaking down the opposition tactically, and then preparing ourselves with a game plan and then hopefully implementing that on the day. And
tell me about what you did with the senior team at the Euros, which was obviously in England.
Part of an analysis hub, so kind of like a background team where we're putting together opposition reports. We're also collecting data from our opponents and our potential opponents as well, and it's a big kind of team of us making sure that the seniors are prepared in every way. So it could be whoever we face in the next game. Obviously when you get into the quarterfinals, semi-finals, it becomes a little bit less predictable who you're going to play. So we're kind of just making sure that they have everything they need to be able to execute the game plan. So yeah, we're kind of identifying any trends, whether that's in goals, whether that's in set plays, and yeah, we're producing reports and kind of getting that across to the seniors as quick and as timely as possible, so they're kind of prepared and as best prepared they can be. Most of our work was kind of done from home, so at times we'd watch the game live, and then once kind of we had the broadcast angle, we'd then use a tactical angle that would get sent to us, and then we completed our kind of bigger analysis projects off the back of that. But there were also some games that we went to live, so I was really fortunate. I got to go to the Spain game, which I've done some of the prep for the Spain opposition, so it was a bit nervy at 1-1. I was a little bit uncomfortable, but to kind of see us get through to a semi-final off the back of that was fantastic. And then I went and attended the semi-final and final, which again, incredible experiences, and that was more from a fan's perspective than it was working. Kind of Spain was my final kind of working day there, so yeah, but it was an incredible experience, and just to be a part of such a big occasion and a big event, and to be a part of kind of seeing the game grow as it has now has been quite special. And that sort of period of my time, especially at the FA, I'll never forget that. It was a very special time for myself, and to be a part of it, yeah, it was brilliant. I was sort of on Australian time zone in England, which was a little bit strange at times, but again, it's the whole kind of process was making it as kind of consistent for the seniors as possible, making sure that the work was completed quickly, and obviously the tournament's growing and the number of teams involved is growing, and this is a little bit different where the teams that we were facing were teams that we hadn't faced previously. So this time we kind of had to dig in a little bit deeper with our prep and make sure that we had to gather a little bit more information. So for example, Colombia, that was a team that we haven't faced since the last major tournament. So, well, I say major tournament, last World Cup. So it was about kind of how much information can we gather, how much can we make sure the seniors have everything they need, because obviously the guys that are out there, it's an intense time for them and they've got games to turn around in quick succession. So just making sure that they've got everything they need. What I hopefully want to implement here is how we can kind of get the detail across to the players. We have a lot longer with the players here, so what we can do is give them more information, but really try and help them build on how they develop into our first team here. Now I've seen it firsthand from the England setup, where I've seen players come from 23s and into seniors. We want to do the same, players coming here from our 21s into our seniors. So it's kind of a line in that sort of process. But the other part of that is I get a lot longer with the players here, so understanding what works for them and tailoring the analysis around them. When I'm away on international duty, you don't necessarily get the time frame for that, because you have very limited time with the players and then they go back to their clubs. Whereas here you can really kind of build on that relationship and really understand the player and what motivates them and what will drive them and what will help them reach their goals. So that's one of my main focuses here, is making sure that the analysis is right for the players, and as well as the team and the staff. I think it's important to make sure the staff are happy with what process we have in place. They're understanding what we're delivering back to them, and if they want anything more, we can also work to them as well.
Brilliant. Thanks very much for your time, Rhianna.
Thank you.
Cheers.